Good. Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us again for our, right now it's been our bi-weekly virtual Zoom Ambassador Luncheon, and we hope that everyone is safe and healthy and that you're inside of a cool environment right now. It looks like we've got some heat coming up on us here. I think I was looking at the weather report and we're looking at 109 by this weekend. So enjoy the coolness today. But again, my name is Ernie Flores and it's great to see everyone here. And thank you for joining us. And what I'd like to do is, first of all, just see if my co-host is Debbie. Is Debbie on already? Let's see. I don't see Debbie just yet, and that's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to go around and introduce ourselves to all of those that are joining us this afternoon. And I'm looking here and I'm hoping that we're going to get some more participants. But what I'd like to do here is that's going to give us an opportunity just to go ahead and talk a little bit about ourselves. Again, introduce ourselves, the name of the business or organization that we represent. And because of the number of participants right now, we're going to do a little bit of a pivot. And I'm going to go ahead and give you an extra couple of minutes here and just kind of share with us something significant, something unique that is maybe happening in your industry, in your profession, and maybe, again, how you have pivoted to make sure that your business and or organization can sustain the sign of times right now and just continue to flourish. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'll just start and I'll model that. My name again is Ernie Flores, and I'm on the board of directors here for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which I feel very honored and humbled to serve our communities and be a part of this wonderful organization. I am the owner of a couple of businesses and also an independent contractor. First and foremost, I am an independent business owner with Keller Williams Real Estate. And just right now, the market is hot. I mean, not just the weather, but the market is extremely hot, and inventory is at a very low point right now. And so if you are a homeowner and you're thinking about possibly selling your home, this is the time to do that right now. With interest rates hovering right about 3%, you will have a lineup of buyers waiting to put an offer in on your home. So if you're considering that, give me a call and I can walk you through the process. And also I am the owner of Renew Credit Repair and Counseling Services. And unfortunately, our services are seeing a upswing just with, again, the sign of times. Lots of folks losing their jobs, extended furloughs and unemployment. We're helping a lot of families right now just to restore their credit ratings. And so when we do emerge from this storm, this crisis, they won't take too many steps backward. And last but not least, I am the owner of Flores Fundraising and Printables. And we have just been extremely blessed with business. We've been able to serve so many different school districts and businesses with all of their PPE equipment and supplies, and just actually helping them to stay out in the forefront with their marketing. This is a time right now not to step back in your marketing endeavors, but actually to kind of put yourself out there. So when this does lift, you're going to be out there and people are going to be willing and ready to support your business also. So just thank you for supporting our businesses, and thank you for supporting the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to go down the line and I'm just going to go in order, and I'm going to turn it over to our illustrious president, Carlos Mendoza.
Thank you, Ernie, and thank you everybody for attending today. I was actually right now working on a new template for our Facebook page. I was like, oh, I heard my name. So good afternoon, everybody. My name, of course, is Carlos Mendoza, your president for your Tulare Kings Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We here at the Tulare Kings Hispanic Chamber of Commerce are working very vigilantly, working very hard to serve our community, especially in this time of need. So Gil and Griselda, they're doing a fantastic job. They're reaching out, making sure everybody has what they need and what they can to be successful in these times. So if you know anybody that may need help or anything, please refer them to us. We would be happy to help them, discuss membership with them. We're willing to work also with membership pricing, especially right now with taking payments because we know how hard it is, but we want to be there for you. We do have some plans, just an update. We're going to be in some rural areas that are, underserved in our county. So I'm really excited about that. I believe, it's time that they need help, especially during this time. Because if we're struggling in our major incorporated cities, you imagine what the rural community is going through right now. So definitely the TKHCC is there for them. So a little bit about me. I represent 3 businesses while on the board of directors here for the TKHCC. First is the Tulare and Kings County Warm Line. So if you're feeling sad, lonely, and depressed, want to reach out and talk to somebody in a safe and confidential environment, reach out and call us. I know we've had an influx of calls throughout this because a lot of people are feeling a little bit depressed throughout this quarantine, the stay-at-home orders. So if you know anybody, I will put our phone number in the chat, and you guys can check that out. And please give us a call or share that info. We are 24 hours to serve you. I also represent Nate Wingert State Farm. I'm an employee of him, so I'm here as his representative. And right now, State Farm, I just want to announce it, an amazing give back, more than any other insurance. They gave 27% back for auto insurance, and they credited it back to people's accounts in July. So it was a really great give back from State Farm. And last, I also am an independent Arbonne consultant. Debbie Landers, who just got on, she's my sponsor into that. It's a really great way. I am currently doing my 30 days of healthy living because I know this quarantine got me a little bit loaded. So I'm doing my cleanse right now, my detox. I'm in halfway through that, and I'm already down about 7 pounds. So thank goodness for that. So I'm really enjoying that. And of course, school's starting, so I'll give a plug for Fresno State. They've gone all virtual, so I'm ready to jump in and dive in, and then I'll be starting my master's next year. It's crazy. Time's going by fast. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
What else are you doing?
Do you have the time, Eddie? Serving my community in every which way is possible.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Well, thank you, Carlos, also for everything that you do for our chamber and for our communities. And yeah, busy schedule, and best of luck as you embark on this new semester. Go Dogs. And very saddened to see that the Mountain West Conference, like everyone else, is canceling their seasons, and was looking forward to so many wonderful tailgate opportunities, but we'll just have to do some virtual tailgating. So with that, I want to go ahead and let's see, she just, Jan, are you still with us? Jan Tyndall? I'm going to come back to Jan here in a bit. Dee Douglas, how about Dee? Are you with us, Dee?
I am. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you loud and clear.
Hello, everyone. My name is Damian Douglas. I work for Assembly Member Rudy Solis. Right now, what we've been doing is food distributions. We have been doing them every Friday throughout the rural areas in Kings County, Lemoore, Hanford, Armona, Stratford, Kettleman City. We've been doing around 3 or 4 pallets, which equals about a little bit under 400 boxes of fresh fruits and vegetables. We've also had a very high constituent rate calling for EDD, a lot of unemployment issues with them not being able to handle the numbers. So we've had a lot of calls. We've had people that haven't received a check since March. So we've really been on top of that. I want to say the office in Hanford and the office in Bakersfield has probably helped a little under 2,000 people with getting their funding from EDD. Because of us being in a rural area, a lot of people do not have computers, and they're filling out the forms and sending it in and not filling it out right. And they're having to have the form sent back to them, which could take a 21-day process. So we're really encouraging and encourage everyone to really go online and apply, because you cannot, it will not accept your application online unless everything is filled out correctly. So, and another key is, if you know anybody, when they call EDD, tell them not to press any buttons, to just let the call go through, and most likely somebody will pick up. Also, we've had a lot of DNV calls, a lot of people wanting to get their license, and they're not taking them right now. It would have to be a walk-up if you want to get your driving test. And even at that, they can still reject you if they do not have the people or the time to do that. And last, well, not last, but also school supplies. We've been doing a lot of school supply collections throughout Bakersfield, Kern County, and Hanford and Kings. We just this past weekend had one at Walmart with the Kings Lions. Great turnout. The Lions will also go to rural areas and give those supplies away. And last but not least, I just want to say that, with the COVID going on, legislation is still getting passed. So if there's something you guys see and want the assembly member to know how you feel about it, I would say just get us the information, email us. If you don't have my email, you may know Alicia's email, but we're very easy to get a hold of. If you look up Assembly Member Rudy Solis's Hanford office, just give us a call. Our office is not open, but we are forwarding the calls to our cell phone. So that's all I have.
Boy, and that sounds like a full plate there, Dia. Man, we appreciate everything that you're doing and helping out with Assemblyman Salas, and more importantly, just getting out there and serving our communities. And like you mentioned, the rural communities that are so much in need right now. And yeah, God bless you, and just getting out there and helping out. So thank you so much for doing that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it looks like, how about Deanna Saldana? Deanna.
Hey, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
Good.
So I, just on a personal note, I had too much cabin fever, so I ended up headed out to Morro Bay this past weekend, where it was like a high of 62, I think, or something crazy like that. So it was a nice escape.
Wow, that's nice. And then you came home.
And then I came home when everybody else showed up. It was like the whole place got overrun by noon. It was like everybody on the West Coast was hanging out at Morro Bay. It was crazy. Yeah. Anyway, so Habitat is running into the same situation, I think, as most nonprofits and businesses as well, is that we're having to pivot to a slightly more virtual way of doing business. And our Restore has been pretty successful with transitioning, getting items up on social media and letting people know what we have in stock at the time. For both the Hanford Restore over on Lacey and the one here in Visalia on Lovers Lane. We're still looking for more donations though. And I know that there's a lot of people out who are taking advantage of the stay-at-home order to do some remodeling and fixing of their home, staring at the walls, let's fix them, let's paint them, let's do that. So first of all, I wanted to let everybody know that we have some great paint. Actually, if you are in a situation where you're wanting to paint, we have great Vision paint. It's recycled paint, and I've been doing all of my doors in the house with it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Works very well. So please think about the Restore if you guys are doing any remodeling or if you know of somebody who is. And as far as Habitat, we're still pushing forward because for me personally, the stay-at-home order has brought to light the fact that we have a real affordable housing issue in the state of California, and that we need more homes for people so that they can thrive and they're not on top of each other, which they're repeatedly saying is part of the reason why this is spreading so quickly, is that people are bringing home to a large family. And the large family is not necessarily made up of just your family. So being able to create an opportunity to get rid of that substandard housing and have everybody living in decent, affordable homes, I think will help us as we move forward, because I don't think we're done with pandemics or virus problems and that sort of thing. I think that we need to start really thinking about taking care of our population. And on that note, we are starting a new build in Hanford, 403 West Cameron. We had at the July 29th and 30th, we had 20 women out who raised the walls on the exterior of this house. So rock on, girls. They did a great job, and we're working side by side with the new homeowners who are going to be putting 500 hours of sweat equity into building these homes, or this home, and then they will pay an affordable mortgage back to Habitat for the length of the loan. Zero interest, that's where we are at the moment. So we're pretty excited about being able to provide those kind of opportunities for local families who are just trying to survive and thrive. So that's starting, and I wanted to let everybody know a lot of businesses are kind of putting the kibosh on volunteering. But if you are in a situation where you can come out, we are doing social distancing. It is outdoors. And we are also encouraging all our volunteers to wear masks. We're doing sanitization stations. So we're trying to keep people busy, keep the philanthropy going, and we're still fundraising for this particular project. And like a lot of nonprofits, we've had to cancel a lot of our fundraising events. We do have two that we're going to do. One of them is our birdhouse auction, which is going online next Friday, not this Friday coming up, but the 21st at noon. You can start bidding on items. And I just got something from Eagle Mountain, and I just got something from Debbie, thank you. So there's some really cool items on there. They're in preview mode right now, so you can check them out. Plus all the birdhouses and all the dog houses. So there's some really kind of fun stuff if you want to go on. It's hfhtkc.org, and just go to the online birdhouse auction, and you can peruse all the fun things that you can bid on starting at noon on the 21st. The other fundraising event that we're doing is our 5th annual Judy Sarber Memorial Golf Tournament. Sorry, Hispanic Chamber, it's October 9th. So there's a little competition going there, but if you're up in Porterville and you want to join us for that, we are looking for golfers and we're looking for sponsors. And of course, anybody who wants to do a raffle prize for that as well. So we just finished, was it last year? We finished a house in Porterville. So this one we're going to be doing in Hanford, but we'd like to go back to Porterville as soon as we can. So hope everybody stays safe. Good seeing everybody.
Very good. Thank you so much, Anna. And let's see here. Alex Gutierrez is here. Is Alex in the house?
Yes, hi everybody. Alex Gutierrez here, representing La Piazza Ristorante Italiano, which we are open today, Wednesday at 4:30 all the way till Saturday. It's only 4:30 to 8:30, and there is outside seating. So we do serve alcohol, so you can come have a nice relaxing meeting or catch up or take your wife out or husband out, and it's a great place to be, definitely in Tulare. For the Tulare County Democratic Central Committee, our chairperson is Susana Aguilar Marrera. You guys know her as Sam. She's the one that's going to be giving the updates now for the Tulare County Democratic Party. I just want to let everybody know that because I usually announce myself as that too. I'm still the secretary on the executive board there, but she's going to be the person to get information for the Democrats and what we're doing to win elections here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just happy to see everybody's faces. and I look forward to it all.
Great, great, great. Good to see you, Alex. Take care, stay safe. And let's go down the line here. How about Gigi?
Unmute. Hi. Hi,
Hi.
everyone. So it's Gigi Kraus here. What I do is I do portrait photography. What's special about it is I focus towards on women, like moms, dads, grandpas, like women and men that hates having their pictures taken, or the people that don't exist in photographs anymore, and that they think that cell phone photos are enough, because I want them to exist back in photographs and not just like files like being saved in the computer, but having actual physical prints. Because you know what, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, we don't know what technology it will be. We don't know. We don't have like copy, or, you know, our kids, our grandkids someday, they don't have access to those files and, you know, like clouds, wherever that may be. So providing printed products to my clients, to my clientele, like it's absolutely changed me. It's absolutely changed them, because most of the time you guys are so busy that you guys don't have the time to print your photos, and it's important. It's important to exist back in photographs, because it's your legacy, you know, like someday, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, who knows, like what if your kids or grandkids will be, I don't know, president of the United States, and they don't have like where their heritage coming from. They don't have access what their grandpa or their ancestors looks like. So it's, I want like everyone to like I want everyone to exist back in photographs, because it's a legacy. It is a gift for yourself, not just also for yourself, but your family, for your great grandkids. Like it's amazing. It's especially now, you know, with COVID, with people dying, it's crazy. And whenever I see photos like on Facebook that like they'd say like, hey, like so and so died, and like it's just like it gives me more like pride and value of what I do, because I look at the photos like, wow, like photos are really important. Like it brings back memories. It brings back you know, those happy memories that you share with your family or friends. So anyway, so that's what I do. I have a studio here in Visalia. And then other than that, I also do headshots. I want business owners, professionals to put your best face forwards, because most of the time you're dealing with clients, and clients right now that want to work with you, they first look at who you are. Like, okay, so I want to hire contractor. What do they look like? And seeing your photos on your business card or social media, seeing like it's professionally done, it means that you care so much about your business. It cares so much about your professionalism and your service that you are going to provide. And based on the photos that you share out there, people are easily can connect to your photos and like, oh, this guy looks very friendly, or this woman, I want to work with her because she looks like someone that I can, you know, like connect with. So yeah, that's what I do. I do headshots, family portraits, and so yeah, thank you.
Ernie, you're muted.
Unmute myself. Jay, I'm sorry. Is Jay here with us? I see Jay. Hey, Jay. Nope. Okay, nothing. Okay, we'll come back to you, Jay. Let's see here. And Criselda is with us. Hi, Criselda. Did you want to say anything? We'll come back to you later on with any updates or announcements, but did you want to just say hi and anything going on in the office?
Hi, I am not in the office. I am in vacation. My kids started school, so it's a new adventure for all parents. But thank you everyone for showing us the support, and can't wait to hear Eddie Valero.
Yes, Absolutely, absolutely. Well, good. Well, you're a great teacher to your kids. In fact, our daughter is homeschooling her two little ones, and she was so concerned. And I just kind of let her know that, you know what, there's no one better than a parent to just be the best teacher to their children, and that she's going to do a wonderful job. And so for all of you other moms and or dads that might be homeschooling your children, remember, you're the best teacher that your child can have in their life, and just hang in there. You'll get it done, and you don't have to do anything perfectly. And so hang in there. How about Gil, did you want to say anything before we come back to you with special announcements?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, only that two big things are happening with the chamber. One is the end of a program with the Tulare County COVID relief for small business grants, and that ends at the end of this week. $5,000 for small businesses that did not qualify for the EIDL or the PPP. If you qualify for either one of those and receive money, you don't for this, but otherwise, and that can be for sole proprietors, independent contractors. That's very important. If you have any questions, please call us here at the chamber, 734-0602, and we'll help you with that. The other, starting on Monday, because this one ends on Friday, starting on Monday, we're partnering with the Tulare County also to get the word out on COVID relief, and there'll be an ongoing program the remainder of this year that all the chambers are participating in Tulare County, and each covering their area, Sandy and Dinuba and Danette and Tulare, etc. And we were asked to cover the rural areas. Carlos and I, some of the board members have already spoken about that. So Eddie, we're gonna be out your way over there in Cutler, Rosie, and Munson and all those places, Harley. So we will be going all over the rural areas the next couple of months to get the message out. And so we are gonna ask help from volunteers from the various cities, like Debbie, if you have some people there in Porterville that can help us out in the rural areas, Strathmore, etc. And so we're going to go to the various areas and try and get some volunteers to help us get the word out on a very, very important issue. And that starts on Monday. We go full force on Monday.
Okay, very good. Sounds like a very busy schedule there. And hey, I'm going to come back to Jay, give Jay another opportunity. Are you there, Jay? Let's see here. Jay, are you with us? Well, we'll maybe catch Jay at the end. I'm going to go ahead now and introduce my co-host here, Debbie Landers, and give her the opportunity to talk about her business. And then she's going to go ahead and introduce our guest speaker for the afternoon. Debbie.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being so graceful to me. I'm now the watching baby because he cannot go to daycare. And so I'm playing Glamma a lot, which is, you know, it's great and everything, but it's I just put my hands down to all those teachers and parents and everybody. And if you're a grandparent, you know what I'm talking about. So it's hands-on completely. So I thank you for giving me some grace on this. And my business is my business, right? I still take care of all those good things, which I absolutely adore. So I am an independent consultant with Arbonne International. I coach health and wellness. Yep, Carlos is part of our team. And it's always exciting to be able to teach people what it means to live a healthy life. And you guys know right now, health and wellness is like crazy, crazy on everyone's mind. And it is the number one thing. We have to take care of ourselves before we can take care of anybody or anything else. So that's what I get to do as a living. That's how I make my income. That's what I do that I have passion about and motivates me, gets me out there. And I absolutely adore it. I'm also, of course, a parent of 3 and grandparent. I'm also the chair for the Sierra Medical Center Foundation Board. I'm also a member of PEO, which is a philanthropy. It's for women's education. It's an educational organization. I'm a 25-year member of that. I've held nearly every office. I absolutely adore that. So if you've not heard of that before, look it up. It's a great way to help educate women, not just here in our community, but it's nationwide and it's international also. And of course, I get the privilege of being an ambassador for the Tulare Kings Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which we all know is a great way for us to not just market ourselves, but to market all those other things that we have interest in that we believe other people should hear about and know about in and about our community. That being said, I'm always excited when we get to hear from people that are putting in those extra efforts in our community and beyond that. So Eddie Valero, I'm very excited to hear what you have to share with us. Like I said, I think it's a great opportunity for every one of us to hear everything that's going on, because we get to hear maybe what's on the news and those sorts of things that give us little tidbits of information, but it's never enough. So I really appreciate you, Eddie, for coming on and sharing with us. I'll let you introduce yourself. But again, just the biggest thanks for giving us your time today and sharing what you're going to share. I'm sure we're all going to be enlightened. So there you go, Eddie. Thank you so much. You have the floor.
Well, thank you so much, Debbie Landers, and thank you for the Tulare Kings Hispanic Chamber for the opportunity to speak with you all today. Can you all hear me? Just making sure. All right. Well, I do have 4 different things that I would like to speak to you all about, but I will go through some quick and others will be a little bit more extensive. And feel free to cut me whenever I need to end my presentation. But first and foremost, I know that there are some new people here that I do not know. So I just want to let you know my name is Eddie Valero. I am the Tulare County Supervisor representing District 4, and that is Northern Tulare County. So representing communities like the city of Woodlake, the city of Dinuba, the city of Visalia North, as well as small unincorporated communities like Ivanhoe, Badger, London, Monson, Sultana, Cutler, Orosi. But nonetheless, and at the end of the day, it's all of Tulare County, not just Northern Tulare County, but all of Tulare County. And I've been blessed with this opportunity. I used to serve on the school board for 6 years, 3 years as president. And I often like to tell people that I never really imagined myself as a county supervisor. What I really wanted to do was to be a university professor in Texas, write books, teach, go home, and repeat. Never did I really want to be out in public, in community, even though I had done that for quite some time throughout high school and getting involved. Gil knows because I used to work for Gil at the chamber early on. But I got a tug in my heart, and it was a time when I was just reflecting in graduate school because I was almost done with my PhD. I only needed 2 chapters left to complete it. And I got this tug in my heart while I was in the gym on the treadmill. And I just got that tug to say, come back home, pack up your bags and head back home. And I was like, what the heck? I said, with all this pedigree, with Ivy League education, where I had experiences at Yale, at Princeton, and at Cornell and Georgetown, I'm like, I am not going back to Central Valley. But then I realized later on in life that it's not where you go, it's what you do with what you have. And so for me, at least, it was an opportunity to really come back home. And so, sorry, I'm gonna actually put my, I'm running low on my battery on my laptop, but sorry about that. And so for me, at least, it was an opportunity to come back home. And since then, I've been working on community, working on uplifting, encouraging, inspiring, advocating for on behalf of communities, and especially those communities that have been neglected for quite some time, such as our unincorporated communities. But again, I'm blessed every day I get to serve, even though I say it's a nudge. And so what I will start with first, because I said there are 4 parts to this. The first one is that we are going to be recruiting for a director of information and community technology. So you will be seeing that in the coming days, where we will be doing a nationwide recruit. But if we do have someone local here that is in that field, then encourage them to apply. And this will also set the vision of what we want to see our IT look like for the future. There are many things, for example, that I want to see done in the county, such as an app where people can go to an app, and if they see something on the road or if they need help with a service, they can go there and directly communicate and get responses back from our IT department, from each department or agency. So that way we streamline our process and not necessarily have to kind of jump through hoops and departments in order to have your answers or your questions answered. And it's just a way of setting the next 5 to 10 years on what does IT look like for Tulare County. So that is one. Two, can you guys all still hear me? Yes, okay. So just to note on some items that are coming before us next week for our Board of Supervisors meeting. I won't go through all of them, but I will just share some highlights that I think are pertinent for people to know. On our item 7 is approve a memorandum of understanding with the Cutler-Rossi Surface Water Project Joint Powers Authority for participation in the Cutler-Rossi Surface Water Project for water supply for communities and residents in North County. So as many of you know, we recently did a ribbon cutting for the Seville project, water project. Seville is a community that was on the CNN, as well as other CBS News, getting lots of attention because as we talk about water issues in other countries, we also have water issues right in our own home county. Seville has not had clean drinking water for the past 10, 15 years. And just up until February, there was no longer a boil notice for community residents to no longer have to boil their water in order to drink or in order to use for cooking. So that is very, very, very exciting. And that's a project that we have to see done in East Orosi as well, because East Orosi has also been struggling with no clean drinking water. And imagine kids growing up in East Orosi where they only know that water comes from a bottle and not from the tap. That's unacceptable. And so we still have lots of water issues in our county that we need to deal with. But I am blessed and excited that we were able to accomplish this with the Seville project. And that is an example of what can happen in other communities as well. So we had the senator, we had the state water board, we had the county, as well as others present last Wednesday for that ribbon cutting. And so the Cutler-Rossi Surface Water Project will allow other smaller communities along the pipeline of this new project to also have that clean drinking water as it flows through Cutler-Rossi. So right now they're thinking of putting this water treatment plant next to the Frank Kern Canal, which is east of Orosi. And so my hope is that once that project is done, that we can also convince Orosi PUD to add on East Orosi so that East Orosi can also have clean drinking water. I move on to another item of great importance, and that is to approve an agreement with Lamplighter Associates for the provision of housing to Tulare County residents without shelter during the COVID-19 pandemic in an amount not to exceed about $400K, effective August 18, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. So as you know, those that have been unsheltered do also have an opportunity to be housed during COVID-19. So just making sure we're doing that outreach for our homeless community and to know that they are visible. They're not the invisible, but they're visible at this time and should always be visible. And so we do have the resources. I will share a personal just experience. So I have an uncle who actually is transient. He comes from, lives in Tulare, then moves to Kern County and Delano, comes back, jumps around. And so I was able to connect him with this service. And let me just tell you, it is awesome in terms of the food they provide during meals when they're quarantined, checking up with a nurse. They're just making sure that everything is okay with these individuals that have symptoms, and then also just making sure that that they follow through the process once they're in and quarantine, and then following up with tests to make sure that they're not COVID-19 positive, and then they send them, and then they basically are able to then provide wraparound services to Tulare County services. And as you know, and I think I had mentioned this the other time we met, is that we recently purchased 99 Palms along the 99, and so that will be retrofitted. And so we will have an agency take that over, Upholdings, I believe, or another agency that will take over, so that way they can run this facility to support and house and provide wraparound services for our homeless population as well. And then in addition to that, we are going to be receiving another item, which is to approve and award the contract to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder with about $6 million to do farm to market routes. And so those have been identified throughout the entire Tulare County, where we are going to redo a lot of these roads, especially given the fact that we do have a lot of trucks that that are hauling all of these huge supplies, and it messes up the roads. But we have to keep on maintaining those roads because all of our residents do use those roads as well. So that will also be on the agenda to make sure that we are improving those. I also want to share that we just recently approved on Tuesday a new development subdivision that will be going in Porterville. As soon as you're entering Porterville on the 65, there will be a series of about, I think, maybe 12 to 15 homes, SME homes, that will be located there. So just to let you know, if you start seeing development along the 65 to the west of it, before you enter Porterville, that will be another subdivision complex that will be going in. Another item that we will be receiving for next week is funding to support Tulare County for domestic violence response. And so that will help, and especially during this time where people have had to be quarantined, and there may be an increase or an influx of domestic violence. So we want to make sure that we are partnering with Family Services of Tulare County to make sure that they are also being cared for during this time. Other items to discuss. Sorry, I know that's a lot. We just recently approved items for our capital projects throughout Tulare County. And so this is also part of our Millennium Fund that we invest in order to see those fruits of our labor, to then be able to identify projects that continue to move our county forward. And so why do a capital improvement plan? It facilitates budgeting decisions based on goals and resources. It synchronizes capital and operating budgets. It allows for systemic evaluation of competing demands for resources, and it prioritizes long-term goals and objectives. And so I'm really proud of our county because it's not specific to one area. Our county does a great job of, when we have these major projects, that they're spread throughout the entire county. So I'm just gonna go over a few of them that I believe are really, really major projects that the county should be very proud of. One is our Fire Station 1 that is in the outskirts of Visalia. Construction on Fire Station 1 adjacent to the Visalia Road Yard began in March of 2019 and was completed just 2 months ago in June. And so this facility also has a community room. So if there's any time where TK, Tulare Kings Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, wants to kind of just do some traveling meeting tours, then hey, might as well go out and connect with the fire department and say, hey, can we use your community room for our meeting? And that's what I love about our fire stations, is that we're thinking about community as we go about renovating our facilities, but also when we build new facilities. In addition to that, the Visalia courthouse basement remodel, as well as the public law library, have both been remodeled. And so I encourage you, for those of you that do seek legal or need legal advice, or I wouldn't say legal advice because I don't think that they can give that to you at the law library, but they do have all of the resources there if you need to look up cases, if you need to kind of get information. I sit on the law library committee, and so I just want to let you know we did an amazing job of renovating that entire space that has been kind of the same for quite some time, over about 20 years. And so now when you go in, they'll have digitized like TV screens that you can use. They'll have a conference room. They'll have the new carpet, as well as an open space to have meetings and classroom discussions. So that was a great opportunity. Another thing that I want you to know as well is park improvements. So after the adoption of the Park and Recreation Strategic Business Plan in June of 2017, funds have been set aside each year to expand or improve existing or new features within the county's 11 parks. So I will just share with you, for example, Mooney Grove Park. We do have a great organization, the Real Mooney Grove Project, who has also been assisting the Parks Department. I know that the Parks Department can't really do I think I'll just say that sometimes departments are understaffed, and that's why we need agencies and organizations and nonprofits to come alongside of us to make sure that the work is getting done. So I will just share that the Mooney Grove Park is receiving attention. I know that other parks in the area, but we also have to keep in mind that some parks are city-owned as opposed to those parks that are county-owned. And just in terms of in the area that I represent, Ledbetter Park is going to be getting a new basketball court as well as walking trails around the complex. So that way people can walk and enjoy and do leisure. And so it's been great. And in addition to that, we've allocated additional funds for our parks for the 2021 fiscal year. In addition to that, we renovated our board chambers with technology upgrades. So as you can now kind of listen in as audio, especially during COVID-19, although we haven't really gone live yet in terms of the screen, I will share that I think things will look a little different once I think Amy Shucklian has been a proponent of having our board meetings shown via live stream. So I think that will be a new addition coming in for the following year, just to let you know, not yet, but for the following year. Another thing that I haven't mentioned, and this is one of my passions, is always to see those on the margins come back to the core. Those on the margins that have been kind of neglected or have not received the resources that they need. And so I just want to share that we just completed the vocational education building right out at the juvenile detention facility complex in my district. And so in November of 2018, construction began on a new 2,920 square foot probation vocational education building. So that will allow those that are in the juvenile justice system to also learn a trade, especially if they're in the process of almost going out and we don't want to see recidivism, meaning they go back into the system. This will allow them to gain a certificate as well as training in any area such as electrician, welding, or as a welder, and other opportunities, and then connecting them with that support. And so I think it's an opportunity for that re-entry program to exist that will allow for tech vocational opportunities to exist. In addition to that, we're also increasing our public art projects. So one of our goals is to make sure that we are putting public art not only within our county buildings, but outside of our county buildings. Right now, I'm gonna push a project for the Ivanhoe Library to have a mural done outside of the library so we can continue to build and encourage our small rural communities to continue thriving during this time. And in addition to that, other projects include the museums that we have, and as well as agricultural commissioner projects, as well as our Sequoia Fields. The Sheriff's Department has been requesting a gun range so that way they can go out and practice. And so they are going to be receiving that because they actually go out and pay an expense to go and use a different facility that is not county owned. So again, trying to work on our effective and efficient financial opportunities so that way we can continue to promote other projects and other opportunities. Another thing that I just wanted to share before I go on to COVID-19 related subject. So I just want to piggyback off of what Gil Jaramillo said with regards to our small business grants. So at 1:30 today, I will be hosting a Zoom with the WIB, Workforce Investment Board, and those reps, the reps there, Blanca, and I believe it's going to be Sylvia Marie, will be sharing on the application process. So for those that still have questions, they can answer those questions today at 1:30 during our Zoom. I also want to put in a plug that it's not only for small businesses, it's also for nonprofits and churches. So nonprofits and churches are allowed to participate in this small grant opportunity. And so hope to see some of you on Zoom at 1:30. And then lastly, because I know you guys end at 1, correct? So just a few more minutes. So I received an email yesterday from Chuck House, who is a resident out of Elderwood near Woodlake. And he actually works for Stanford University and does research from this area. And he has been studying the COVID numbers for Tulare County. And he did share with me yesterday that it seems like we are at our peak and that we are kind of going down. However, you will notice that yesterday we did get a report for about 697 plus positive cases. And so I know that may startle you or may kind of say, okay, well, how do you say we might be going on a decrease when you have 600 plus positives? I just want to share with you that as of July 31st to about August the 4th, there was one private lab that did not share its results and that it was lagging. And so we never got to input those numbers into our system. And this wasn't only particular to Tulare County, it was actually all over the state of California. So the high number that you saw the day or yesterday is a result of lagging testing. So when you look at today's number from 697, I believe, from yesterday, today's numbers just came out about 30 minutes ago before this meeting, and it was 97 contracted cases. So as you can tell, there is a discrepancy, right? But it's because we've plugged in those numbers. So my hope is that that trend will continue and that we will still see that downcrease, because then that will tell us that, yes, we've reached our peak, but that we are going back down. But it's not to say that we can then go out and do what we want to do. It's to continue to take precaution and measures in place so that way we can really, how would I say, in terms of making sure that we are doing our very best. And so just want to report of today, the total COVID-19 positive cases today is 94. And altogether for our county is 11,643. Total COVID-19 deaths for today is +7. And then our total deaths for COVID-19 as it started back in March is 205. And so I know that this is still a major concern for our county. One of the things that I want to stress, especially to our Latino community, if possible, is to make sure that we're not congregating. We have a tendency to congregate when it comes to any and every type of event on weekends. And I get it, because I love my family and I love being connected. But at the same time, we also have to be careful. We also have to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. I will share too, and this is going to be an exciting announcement, is that we're partnering with Univision. We've just contracted with them and it's in the works. And so Univision will be spending a lot of time in Tulare County and making sure that we do have those commercials as well as news segments with Lupita Lomali and others to really hone in on the need for social distancing, the need to wear masks, among other items that are pressing during this time. So like I said, I just think that we need to do a better job, but I'm saying not only as a county, as cities, as communities, we need to come together and make sure that we're all sending the same message. Another thing that I will share before I end is that we will have our strike team here. So the state of California will be coming to Tulare County tomorrow and the following day, and they will be working with the county. They will be meeting with local agencies. They will be meeting with the farm worker and farm community. They will be meeting with our health agencies. They will be meeting with our local officials, elected officials, to devise a plan on how we move forward with COVID-19 for Tulare County. They have already gone to Kern County and they've already gone to Fresno County. And so they're making their visit for the next 2 days here in Tulare County. And we will keep you all abreast of the results of those meetings when they become available. And lastly, teamwork makes the dream work, and a house divided cannot stand. So the more we work together is the way that we are going to move Tulare County forward together. So thank you so much for the time and opportunity. And I do apologize if I went too fast, but I felt like I had several things that I had to share with you this afternoon.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much. Again, just for everything that you do for our county, and just to get a sense of your genuineness, your heart in what you do, the passion of what you do. And as you mentioned, you have your district, as does the other supervisors, but you're a Tulare County young man, and your heart is in serving all residents of the county. And so we appreciate that. And it's the water issue. I'm just so glad to hear that something is in the works, because my 25 years of serving in education had always been in rural communities, underserved communities. And it just always broke my heart just to understand that we were in the 20th century at the time, now 21st century, and to still realize that we have communities, we still have people in our own country, in our own backyard, that do not have fresh tap water. And such a travesty. So sad to see that, but so excited to see that you're working on that and going to bring that fresh water to communities like Seville, and hopefully we could just keep going along the county peripheral areas of our county and keep making sure that we're bringing fresh water to everyone.
Yes, and another thing that I worry about constantly is our broadband service.
Yes.
And so right now I did get an email from the superintendent of Seville and Yedem, Christopher Kemper, who's the superintendent there, and he doesn't have access to internet. And so he's telling his staff, we're going to either do packets, or we're going to do a USB drive, and where they just get all the information from a USB. And yet you see other schools with their wireless. One of the things that I am pushing, although I did get a little bit of a pushback from this yesterday, but schools can ask for a waiver. So if they want and they meet the certain requirements, but at the same time, how is there equity involved in these waiver processes when you have some schools that can and that just are automatically they have the resources to do so, versus others that may have to take a while to put that together? And so my concern is that some schools will be starting earlier than others. And how can we make sure that all schools start at the same time, whether you are rural, urban, whether you are a school that's private versus public? Because I just don't want to see the disparities that will exist as a result of schools being so behind and others already ready to go because they have the additional resources to make that happen. And I know that is a concern. And some of my colleagues kind of disagreed with some of that because, hey, if you're ready to go, you're ready to go, let's go. But for me, at least, I really want to look at the bigger picture of how all school districts can work together so that no child is left behind in the process of reopening our schools.
No, I agree. And unfortunately, I just feel like we're going to just see the gap of serving our children in the education is just going to continue to widen. And it's, breaks my heart. And again, serving in rural communities for my entire career, it's certainly there. So, but, and that's a whole nother topic for another day, but.
Yeah. And if I could just add too, and the reason why I say that is because we got a report back. And again, not to dismiss private schools, I'm not saying anything about, but they all had not all, but some of them, and the only ones that we received were from private school waivers. And so I was like, wait a minute, where are the public school waiver forms? At least and I said, no, I think that we as a county need to do our due diligence to go to every single school district, whether private or public, and inform them how you do this waiver process so that everyone can submit together. And so that got me upset when I found out that only a few of the private schools that were included in the review were only from there. So again, that's just my take. I know someone can critique me, and that's okay.
No, thank you, thank you, thank you. And real quick, as we're at the time, I know Jay was here, and Jay said his phone was working now. So I'm going to give Jay just a couple of minutes real quick just to introduce himself. Jay, are you there? Jay with Elizondo Insurance. Well, hey, Jay, thank you for being with us. I'm sorry with the technical difficulties.
Ernie, I did want to interject. We do have Amy Gonzalez from Family Services of Tulare County got on, and as well as Susana Aguilera Marrero. I want to go ahead and call them out.
Well, let's go to, yeah, Amy. Do you have, Amy, you got a minute there to introduce yourself? And
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. I am the Development and Communications Coordinator at Family Services of Tulare County. Just glad to be here. I had to hop on a little late because I was at another meeting, but I really appreciate all the work that you're doing, Eddie, and we love working with you and as well as the other county supervisors. So thank you. And we're just pushing along. We have a lot of things going on right now. One of the newest things probably to announce is that we have a chat line, a web-based chat line for domestic violence victims and, you know, pretty much anyone looking for information regarding our domestic violence services. And that's at our website, fstc.net/help. And then there they have access to the hotlines as well there too. So that's probably the most important thing.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Yeah, and we're glad that you were able to join us here. And Susanna, did you want to say hi? Are you with us, Susanna? Sam?
I'm just kicking back and my dogs are barking up a storm. Great meeting. Let's try to build this. Great information. Eddie, it's always a thrill to listen to you and get informed. We should have more of this more often. And yes, let's get that web information to everybody. Thank you. Great meeting.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And with that said, Gil, do you have any last minute things that you'd like to add?
Actually, I'll turn that over to Carlos in 30 seconds. But is Jay seems to be unmuted. Can you hear us, Jay?
No.
Because we can't hear you. But just want to welcome Jay from Elizondo Insurance. I understand is married to Amory Marple, the new CEO of the Hanford Chamber. Tell her we said hello, and that we're looking forward to working with you there.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay, Carlos?
absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so we got some great things. I'm gonna keep this really, really brief. I know we are past time, but we all know I can speak fast, right? So moving forward, I do want to announce an event, a member event. Let me pull that up real quick. The Taste of Mexico. Support your Tulare County Democratic Party dinner for $15. It is a safe event, and not just safe, but also delicious. You get 2 chicken enchiladas, rice and beans, or you can do 2 chicken enchiladas, rice and beans. You can do 2 cheese or chicken, whatever your choice is. Information is on our Facebook. I'll actually drop the link to in the chat, and that'll be emailed to everybody. So all your information you guys want to share, please put it in the chat, and that will be emailed so we can all share our information amongst each other. Also, I'd like to say a special shout out to our renewing members. We have American Ambulance, okay, Forest Fundraising and Printables, Keller Williams, Ernie Forrest. Is he on? Yeah, I think so. And also as well, I want to go ahead and no competition with Deanna, but the Tulare Kings Hispanic Chamber of Commerce are having their annual Chili Verde Golf Tournament that is going off without a hitch. It is going to be October 9th. Registration's at 8, tee-offs at 9, I believe, Ernie?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right now, we are still looking for fantastic teams to be out there. I believe it's $500 a team. And right now, because we're limited because of restrictions on golf carts, if you pay an additional 100, you would get for sure, I believe, 4 golf carts, right, Ernie?
Right.
So that's really good. And of course, T signs are available. I got mine put in. I know a few others have. We are still trying to get those purchased. They're $100 each. Give our office a call at 559-734-6020. We'd be happy to help you out and assist you on promoting your business. And also, I'd like to give thanks and special shout out to our sponsors, because none of this would be possible without them. Southern California Edison, Bueno Beverage, Family Healthcare Network, HR Mobile, Korea Delta, and American Ambulance, and Carrillo Landscaping. Thank you guys so much. That's all I have.
Awesome. Great.
Yay.
Well, and who is this? Jay. Okay. Jay, you there? Ah, can't hear you. You're still muted. But hey, thank you everyone for joining us. August 26th, put that in your calendars right now. Circle that. August 26th at 12 o'clock is our next scheduled Ambassador Zoom luncheon. Let's invite some more folks here. It's always great to see new faces. And again, Supervisor Valero, thank you so much, sir, for all of your work
Thank
and
you,
you do
Eddie.
for the county. And God bless everyone. Please stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you soon. Meeting adjourned.
Bye, Ernie.